Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog. Just Stan here with you. Well, in today's vlog, I'm attempting to change the valve cover gasket on the Mazda 323. That's exactly inside this. So I need to remove this first, then I need to remove this cover, and then I can place the gasket inside. And I already got the parts for these. Now the two main items that you need for this DIY is the valve cover gasket, which is this. It cost me $28. And then you also need this one. This is the silicone RTV from Permatex. It cost $22. You need to get the red one because that's the high temp silicone. I'll show you how to use this as well. So first we'll have to clean off the oil spills over here and underneath the engine. So to clean the engine bay, I'm using kerosene and some rag. So I cleaned the undersides of the engine and the top portion as well of some engine oil. Now let's remove the engine cover. Before we remove this cover, we need to remove the air filter box. So let's get to that first. So first we'll remove this 10 mm bolt with this 10 mm socket. Next we'll remove this pipe. There's a star screw over here which you need to remove. Once you open this star screw, you can release this tube. You can use a 10 mm socket to remove this screw. My star was actually spoiling the thread, so I used a 10 mm socket to remove this screw. There is a square nut underneath this screw, so you must make sure that you don't lose it. I'm going to screw it back in place. So I got the hose out. There's another 10 mm bolt right over here. Let me show it to you guys. So there's a 10 mm bolt right over here. We need to remove this as well. But you also need to remove this hose over here. So you need to loosen this thing. You can use your hand. It's off. Now you can just use a flathead screwdriver to remove this line from this air filter element. So it's like a clip, so you need to get around this clip. You can just, I think it should come off easily. Okay, there's a hose behind here as well. You need to remove this hose. It should come off if you just pull it off. So this hose came off just by pulling it. It's from this side, it's from the top side. Okay, so the air filter element is out. Let's cover the carburetor. Or you can just pull this out. That's it. You don't have to pull that clamp. Then you have to pull this hose out as well. Pull it out. And next we have 6 10 mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, and then there is 2 more bolts here. One here and one here. So once you remove these 8 10 mm bolts, this cover should come off easily. So let's do that next. You also need to remove these 2 tiny screws which holds the throttle cable in place. So if you remove this bracket, the engine cover can come out easily. I need to remove these 2 10 mm bolts as well. So to remove the throttle cable bracket, it's an 8 mm socket. So I can't get my gun behind these two 10mm bolts. I'm using a ratchet spanner. So I need to remove this clip as well, because now this is stopping me from removing the cover entirely. So I can use a flathead screwdriver to unhook this clip. This is how it looks like once the cover is removed. Not bad for a 30-year-old engine. It's really not that bad at all, to be quite honest. So now what we'll do is we'll be cleaning corners of this valve cover. So we'll be cleaning it thoroughly, this side and as well as this cover. And you can see this is the old gasket inside here. So we'll be removing the valve cover gasket with a flathead screwdriver like this. So this should easily release the valve cover gasket, like so. That's it. So we got the valve cover gasket out. So we've installed the valve cover gasket on the top cover. So next we'll be using the Permatex RTV over the edges of this cover. I'll show you how to use that paste. And immediately after putting the paste on this side of the cover, you need to close the cover. So we are going to apply the red silicone paste like so. So this is how the red silicone paste must be applied. It should be applied even over the bolt holes, and immediately after doing this step you need to cover the engine cover. So I did a really stupid mistake. I over tightened this bolt, which didn't insert properly, I think, and I think the bolt got stuck, and when I tried to over tighten it, this bolt snapped. All the other bolts are okay, but this bolt snapped. So now that's a big issue. The part shop is not open until day after tomorrow, so now this work is pending until I get this one bolt. I might have to remove this cover and redo the paste again, because I need to remove that snapped off bolt. I think I can remove it with the help of a plier and then put in new bolts. So this work is going to be pending now. So the problem that I faced while replacing the valve cover gasket was that after I put back everything together and I was tightening the bolts, this bolt snapped and got stuck inside, because I think I got it in the wrong direction using the rattle gun, and that was a big mistake. Anyway, I got it out with a lot of difficulty. And then the next issue is that the other bolts doesn't go in all the way fully in. It stops, like it just goes 1/4 the way inside and then gets stuck because the thread inside got damaged. So for this, what I had to do was I needed to buy a tool like this. So this is the tool that I purchased. It's a cheap Chinese tool. Cost me around $30, and this tool is supposed to fix the thread that was damaged. Make sure that the metal shavings does not go inside, so that's why I covered it with a piece of cloth, so that the metal shavings that come from inside this thread does not go inside the engine block. Okay, so I think I went deep enough. Now I'm going to remove the tool out. So I repaired the bolt hole, guys. The bolt is going in fine right now. It's going all the way in. So the damaged thread is repaired, and the tool that I used for this is, let me show you the tool. So this is the tool that I used to repair that damaged hole, and the bolt that we use for this is a 10 mm size bolt. So the repairing tool for this is sized at M6 into 1. So if you use this tool, you can repair this damaged hole perfectly fine. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to redo the whole thing. So I fit the new valve cover gasket with the RTV paste. You can see the RTV paste oozing out from here. So that's the right way to do it. So we're going to let it cure for 24 hours. So you should not start the engine in the meantime. So it's been one whole day, guys. So it's the next day right now. I'm going to retighten the bolts again. I don't see any leaks, but I'm going to start the engine and see if there are any more leaks. Don't over tighten it and spoil the threads like how I did last time. So now let's start the engine. Okay, it started. We'll take the car out for a small spin, drive it around, and then see if the leak is reoccurring again or not. So now let's go check if the engine oil leak is gone. So that's it for the valve cover replacement. It was actually fairly simple and easy. I did one big blunder, that is I used the rattling gun to tighten the bolts around the valve cover gasket, and that actually ended up going at an angle and it got stuck inside the hole and the bolt snapped, and I wasted a lot of time trying to remove that snapped bolt out, and then I had to rethread the hole because the thread inside got damaged, and that actually wasted a lot of my time. If I had just used a ratchet spanner to tighten the bolt, I wouldn't have faced such an issue. I should have just been more patient. But anyways, it was a lesson learned, and I hope you guys also don't do the same mistakes. And there's no engine oil leak. The temperature gauge is working fine. I forgot to fit that cable. Once I fit that cable, the temperature gauge is also working fine. So that's it for this DIY. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do hit the like button. Do consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't done already. And until next time, this is Dan signing out. Bye bye.